In this demonstration, I'll show you how to solve a word problem involving trigonometric models. This is question 1. Suppose that a mathematical model for the temperature in a particular city in Fahrenheit is given by the following function, where x is equal to 0 corresponds to January 1st, while x is equal to 365 corresponds to December 31st. A. What is the period? B. What is the maximum temperature? And what is the minimum temperature? Let's start with A. To find the answer to A, you'll need to recognize the general sine function equation, which is shown right here. And the two formulas for period are shown below. If our equation was in degrees, we would use the first one, but since our equation is in radians, we'll use the second one. So period is equal to 2 pi over b. Now you have to recognize which of these values represents b. Given the general sine function, we can say that this number, b, is equal to 2 pi over 365. Given that we found b, we are going to replace our period formula with that b that we found. So period is equal to 2 pi over 365. If we rearrange this, we end up with 2 pi times 365 over 2 pi. This cancels out, and our period is equal to 365 days. Let's move on to part B. In part B, they're asking what is the maximum temperature and what is the minimum temperature. To help us solve this more easily, I've rewritten the equation. And also keep in mind what a sine function looks like. A sine function, the wave, looks like this. It starts at 0, goes up to 1, makes its way down to 0, -1, and then back to where it started. All sine functions have a maximum at y is equal to 1 and a minimum at y is equal to -1. And this occurs at pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2. That being said, this part alone, pretend that this was sine x, the maximum it could go is y is equal to 1. So let's start with the maximum. We know that the maximum this part will go is 1. This 31 represents the amplitude, and the amplitude tells us how much it will stretch along the vertical. And if it stretches 31 units, we're going to multiply 1 by 31. And this 23 right here tells us how much we will shift, either up or down. Now, since it's plus 23, it will shift up 23. So therefore, our maximum will be 31 times 1 plus 23. And that is equal to 54. Now we're going to do the same thing for the minimum. And we know that the minimum it will go, this part, is -1. So once again, 31 times -1 plus 23 gives us 8. So what we can conclude is that the maximum temperature will be 54 degrees Fahrenheit and the minimum temperature will be 8 degrees Fahrenheit. And that's it. That is how to solve a word problem involving trigonometric models. Coming up is question 2. If you found this tutorial helpful, please support our channel by subscribing or by liking this video. If you have any further questions, visit our website at studyforce.com. We're an online service for students seeking free homework help. See you soon.